And I gotta give some credit here to this Fever team, because sure, they may not fight a lot early in games, and sure, just like the Wings game when they managed to be a 17-point deficit, this game a 21-point deficit. Like the Fever just made, they made a miracle comeback. And the problem is that why do we have the comeback? But it's great fight. It's great fighting. And if you guys agree, subscribe. We are trying to hit 56,700 subscribers by the end of the day. We're 37 off. We're 37 off. And it is it's one of those things where the Indiana Fever, when they turn it on and when they really just outwork teams, they can put it up to anyone. They just choose not to. This team's not good enough to coast. And that is a problem when it comes to the Fever. They are not good enough to coast, and they coast. They're trying to prep for playoffs that they're not even guaranteed to come back. That they're not even guaranteed to make. Thankfully, you've got the team out here. Biggest comeback win in franchise history. Stayed together, Fever win. Kelsey freaking Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell isn't real. MVP Kels from Caitlin Clark. Man, does Sophie Cunningham have more Twitter clout than Caitlin Clark? Caitlin Clark, Kels, MVP Kels, 3.6k likes. Same for Sophie. Sophie Cunningham, 3.6k. She might have more Twitter clout than Caitlin Clark. To be fair, Sophie Cunningham has had a few 100k tweets, hasn't she? Yeah, she had a 200k tweet just there. She might have more Twitter clout than Caitlin Clark. I think everyone's being hope all the best of your injury. Prayers up. Tweeting about Kelsey's a great sign. Come back soon. I don't think Sophie's gonna be back for this season. Thank you for the $2. One more song. Maybe if we win another game. Oh, we win another game. Thank you for Jungle Telegraph for the membership. I gotta say, it's the Indiana Fever, they don't know when to give up. If you're Lexi Hull hit two of the biggest shots in the game. Lexi Hull genuinely hit two of the biggest shots in that game. There's no question about that. That the sum of the shots Lexi Hull made were unbelievable. Were absolutely unbelievable. And even though she made a really nice layup in their comeback, she hit a big three and she hit a game icing three. And look, say what you want about Lexi Hull and her shooting, because it is very, 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 very iffy. But man, she hit a clutch shot there. She hit a clutch shot. And at this stage, that's all that we kind of want to see from her. Put in effort, put in energy, play some defense, and you know what? You don't need to be a big maker of shots. You don't need to be out here making 7-8 shots a game. But if you're a maker of big shots, we'll live with that too. We will live with that too. And the fight from Kelsey Mitchell, the fight from Bree effing Turner on the defensive end. I'm shocked about that. Kelsey Mitchell did not want this team to lose. Odyssey Sims didn't want to see this team to lose. Odyssey Sims stepped up out of nowhere and did not want this team to lose. And they just came in and won. They did it. They came back. And I have to say, the Indiana Fever were absolutely shockingly bad today. They were terrible. They were embarrassingly bad, but it doesn't matter. If you can win a game down 21 points while being embarrassingly bad, then who knows how you can get on in better situations. And look, I will always give the Indiana Fever team and these players credit for how they've dealt with adversity this year. They've done it extremely well. The Indiana Fever have done an extremely good job dealing with adversity. Regardless of what you guys want to think about them, they fight. Even their a couple of losses ago against the Dallas Wings, they fought. They fought. They did go down 17. They fought and brought their way back in. Was it enough to win? No. Is there enough to be said being like, how the fuck did you let it be a 17-point game in the first place? Is that a question? Yeah. But you know what? When you win, you don't ask those questions. You don't ask those questions. You celebrate the comeback. And that's the thing with fans. That's the thing with fans where it's like, so many people are like, oh, I want all these fans to stay on that side when they were going mad when it was a 21-point game. Yeah, fans should be mad when you're down 21 points to the Connecticut Sun. But at the same time, when you make the comeback, all completely have the right to celebrate. That's the thing with sports. That's the thing with sports. You can be at the lowest of low. You can be the lowest of low watching a game, and you can immediately go into the highest of high emotion. You can go from the depths of despair to feeling like the most optimistic person in the world. And that's sports. That is that's the nature of sports. And that's a big reason why we love sports. There was no moral victories here. There was no moral victory here. And they fucking did it. There was no comeback for nothing. This comeback was for something. And the fight that this team gave today was incredible. Like, we're not going to go, we're not going to talk about how poor of a performance it was coaching-wise through 3 quarters up until realistically it was just a Kelsey takeover. We're not going to talk about some of the weird rotations. Thank you so much for the $10, Jared. Really appreciate that. We're not going to talk about how taking Lexi out of the starting lineup wasn't a smart decision. We're not going to talk about we're not going to talk about how bad some of the things were at the start of the game. We're not going to talk about how realistically this loss might not be a good thing for us, because I think getting a lottery pick might actually be more beneficial than getting swept in the first round of the playoffs. But at this stage, I don't care. We can talk about all of that some other time. But right now, let's celebrate Kelsey Mitchell. Let's celebrate Lexi Hull being clutch. Let's celebrate all these players, because you know what? They managed to win the game. They managed to win the game. At the end of the day, it was an absolutely disastrous performance. A calamitous performance. I don't know if the Fever played worse than they did in that first half. We were nearly embarrassed. We were outworked, but I don't care. I don't freaking care at this stage. Shout out Kelsey Mitchell, who played the worst half of her career, followed by the best half of her career. I don't care about all the negatives. We can talk about the negatives when they inevitably lose 4 of their next 5 games. But right now, let's celebrate. Because we've got 5 days to celebrate, because it might be the last celebrating we do this season. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. That is the video. An ugly win is